So hello boys and girls, welcome back to Zork Nemesis. I haven't applied the mouse scrolling fix, so last time we were here we just opened this door and soonly after that, before I could end the game, a cutscene followed, so I want you to see it. So we are now here, and before I can do anything really, if I would like to, we hear water droplets coming from above. Water drops coming from above. It looks like this temple is abandoned and in state of construction or reconstruction. But whenever I want to move...
Have you come to seek the alchemists? Don't waste your time. I killed them all. You can do no good here.
Okay, so seek the alchemists. Strange voice. You can go warning us. We can do no good here. There is something to interact with. There is a room at the left, at the right of us from the entrance. So let's. And there seems to be a door over here, but it's not like a door. It's something leaned against the wall over here. Just don't know what it is. I mean, at least we cannot interact with it. This is the entrance door. Leaned against the wall. Here is something we cannot see, and it looks like we can interact with this door over here. So, oh, door. It's a walled-in door, right? So let's try to push something here. Nothing happens here. I'm clicking and it doesn't. Oh, we hear something. It's an audio feedback. It certainly sounds hollow. So there is certainly something behind this wall, a walled-in door. Maybe we'll find out later. I have no idea what it is. Optimus says lots of clues here to examine. Of course. So there's a room, it looks like a library to our right. Of course we could go further into the temple, but let's check the library first. Different acoustic scene here. With a great globe. A chest, a couple of chests in fact. Some maps. Yes, Yugoslavenka and Optimus say that it's a sound. What the clicking on the wall triggered. Toppled over chair. Some sort of I don't know, assorted. It looks like a sitting bench, but there are things on it and books all over the place. Okay, so that seems to be book astronomy for a new age. We could interact with. I will not do it right now. There is another book, interior with what is this word? Grew. Interior with a grew. I don't know what this word is. I can't really read it. Nia Wolf says, I wish they would make games like this today, but except for Abduction from the Mist devs, there is nothing. Yeah, it's a forgotten a genre of games, pretty much. Alchemy of Pure Love. Oh, look at this. And another book here. My Best Excesses, Dim-wit Flathead. And it's got the same symbol as the astronomy book, but that may be just due to the lack of textures in this game. So they used one texture twice. And there is another book to the left which has not a name. Just 4 pieces, 2 pieces, 2 pieces, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5. Looks like a puzzle to me. But before we interact with it, let's take another look, closer look around. So we see these these maps, these wall maps. This says horizon here, horizon, like the Earth with its axis of rotation. The continents on it don't look familiar. Whoa! What is this? What was the sound? Is anybody else here? No. I don't know what it was. Will it happen again if I go back? Yes. So every time you back off from these paintings, you hear this sound. It sounds like clicking of 3 locks or something, and something strange even with that. There's a small table here, and there's this big globe. I'm not sure we can interact with. Certainly the continents on it don't look like Earth at all. And we can't interact with the chest, neither can we with the books on the floor here, or the books in the shelves. No, maybe wait. There seems to be like a door up down here, which we could access. Let me go to this. Yeah, there's a door here, definitely. All right, let me not exit the door just yet. So, seeing that there is nothing else to go to, let's interact with the books, and let's take them left to right. No, let's take them right to left. Let's take the unexpected. My Best Excesses, Dim-wit Flathead. Let's interact with this book first. Excerpt from My Best Excesses by Lord Dim-wit Flathead. Chapter 1. I remember screen capturing this. I think I've read through this just to solve the puzzles all around here. On taxes, as I will summarize in the following 1100 pages, the 98% tax rate is a mere pittance. Nothing worth doing in this empire can be done for any less than a full 100%. My next 2,000 or 3,000 tax bills should further illumine my immensely keen feelings on this subject. Suffice it to say that the forward-thinking legislation of the Analecta Luitica 2216 shall stand. Analecta Luitica 2216, 4th December 788. The Lord Dim-wit Flathead to the people of Gwendor. Anyone withholding payment of all taxes decreed before this date shall be killed, along with everyone they have ever met. I have known my share of detractors. A ruler so excessively wise, so excessively handsome, so excessively flat as myself will always find himself the subject of pernicious slander. There always will be some who lack the vision, some who think we cannot afford, plebeian concept, to erect the new continent in my own excellent image, some who doubt we require as if that were the issue. An underground flood control dam where there is no rain. As if the inspired work of Philosopher King was to be governed by the vicissitudes of the weather. I am convinced, however, that the statue of my royal selfness that I am erecting in the Fublio Valley will... something. Okay. Yeah, looks like a madman writing this. Dimwit. Flathead. But mark those words written in cursive or italic script. Pittance, 100%. Detractors, wise, handsome, fled, pernicious. Vision, F4, excellent, require, issue. Strange that the E is not italics as well. Inspired, weather. I don't know whether it has anything to say. I don't know yet. And there is this I written in a certain script here. Okay. We don't know whether it has any relevance to the puzzles we will solve. Nag, font. That is normal font. Does it display some role in finding out secret? Yes, it was exactly what I'm thinking. Maybe the italics give you some sort of hints to puzzles you will be solving later on. Anyway, let's take a look at the book of Alchemy of Pure Love by C. Barajas, copied right 875 GUE, Vast Wasteland Press. There is a... okay. Explore this further in lab, says the note here, written by hand. There is a thing confusedly formed, born before heaven and earth, silent and void. It stands alone and does not change, goes round and does not weary. It is capable of being the mother of the world. Pure love, the willing and eternal joining of two souls, is the fifth element, the quintessence of the philosopher's stone. As you can see, the voice when we entered the temple mentioned alchemist, philosopher's stone, quintessence. There's another connotations of alchemy and medieval alchemy. So this is what we will probably be dealing with. The sun and moon are the two astrological and alchemical symbols, or astrological symbols rather than alchemical, of course, are two magical principles, one active, the other passive, this masculine, that feminine. There is not a compound in all nature but hath in these two luminaries, a little sun and a little moon. Let's take a look at this book. The best of the new Zorker. Alright, I have missed this book when I was examining this. The best of the new Zorker. What is this? Scoffman Publishing, maybe? I don't know, I can't read the second letter here. Goings on about the Empire. Are the recently evacuated Forbidden Lands really cursed? Forbidden Lands. The full title of this game, I think, is Zork Nemesis, The Forbidden Lands. So mind that these Forbidden Lands might have some connection to the surroundings we are in, or the world we find ourselves in. So are the recently evacuated Forbidden Lands really cursed? Or is it Regent Siovar simply, or is Regent Siovar simply becoming paranoid now that the Enchanters Guild composes the first substantial challenge to this political supremacy? The theory of the curse seems legitimated by the dark series of earthquakes, droughts, missing persons, and general ill humor of the inhabitants of the region following the great eclipse. If you remember the intro, there was an animation of an eclipse there. We don't know yet what role this eclipse will play in a further game. Though the guild denies responsibility for any black magic in the region, the disappearance of General Kane from Iron Dune suggests political conspiracy. And since we all know the trolls, orcs and gnomes of the Flathead Mountains are only waiting for the slightest hint of civil strife to stake their own claim to that corner of the Empire, the clock is ticking on the Forbidden Lands. I made a small journey to the desolate region south of Arragane, venturing southwest of the frigid river to find out for we can't really browse the book anymore. So yeah, what was mentioned here was General Kane, Enchanters Guild, Forbidden Lands, Arragane something region, desolate region, frigid river, Empire again. Interview with something. Interview with Gru by Andrew Zilber. Let me read that actually. And this is the depiction. The Gru in its natural habitat. We can interact with this. Look at this. No, we cannot. It only turns the page back. The Gru in its natural habitat is dark in dark. Okay, the air in the room lay deadly still, thick with the stench of a Gru in confinement. I could make out just his faint profile in the darkness, the barest glint of his razor claws, the faintest gurgle of his fetid breath. I took a step closer and was about to introduce myself when suddenly the gurgling grew louder, and then a sort of gnashing of great teeth, and lo, the hulking bully drew a gleaming bone from his jaw and tossed it to the floor with a grunt. It clattered at my feet as I looked down. I saw that it still... We can't interact further. Yes, a horror story. What about this book? Astronomy for a New Age by Borgmoid Fallacy, or Why the Earth is Not Flat After All by Dr. Carol Zagan, PhD. Chad's House Press. This is important. We see Saturmax, Plado, Minus, Mars, Zork, Juperon, Venus, Hermes. So immediately we can associate it with our world's planets: Saturn, Pluto, Mars. Mianus looks like not Venus, because Venus is this. I don't know what this is. Zork, we are on the planet Zork, probably like the Earth. Jupiter, Venus is Venus. Hermes. What other planets are missing? These two don't look like any of our known planets, right? There is Uranus, there is Mercury. Maybe this is Mercury, but Mercury should be smaller. Hermes, I have no idea. Neptune, but I guess that would be called. Yeah, Pluto. Good old Pluto when it was still a planet, indeed. Dan says you turn the page back by clicking it. Can't you click the page to turn on the next page? Here in this book you can. Actually, you can click on this page. But in all the other books, if I go back to the other books, you can see only that this page is not clickable, this page is. this right page is not clickable, as is the case with all other books. Not clickable here. Not clickable here. Yeah. Okay, so we didn't. Meanus is Uranus. Ah, of course, my anus and your my anus and your anus. Yes, that's a play of words there. My anus is the Uranus, of course, Uranus. Okay, so that makes. And what is Hermes? Is this Mercury? Could be Mercury. Or it is Neptune. But I would have to look up what sort of association is there with the Greek god Hermes, written with an S, of course, at the end. And what was the god of Neptune? Neptune was the god of the seas. Hermes was the god of air or something. I don't really know what Hermes was god of, but it's a good notice, this wordplay of my anus and your anus. I've never noticed that before. Yeah. And we see the most important thing of this page is, of course, this handwritten notes here. Malvo, Cain, Sartorius and Sophia. Remember the voice mentioning the 4 alchemists? Could this be the four names of the 4 alchemists? We will find out later. At least we can see a name here, Cain, which was mentioned in a book earlier. Was it not? General Cain. Oh, Dan has googled and says Hermes was a Roman equivalent, was Mercury. Okay, so Hermes is indeed Mercury. Thank you, Dan. So we have solved that. So Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, Mars, Earth, Jupiter, Venus and Mercury. An invitation. We invite all the citizens of the Empire to read this book, to ponder in their hearts the message it contains, and then to ask the implementers in the name of Yoruk. Yoruk. It's somehow Yoruk. I've heard this name before, Yoruk. I don't know where. Yeah, implementers in the name of Yoruk himself. It is not undeniably, irrefutably, and without doubtably true. Those who pursue this course, the right and proper course of science and progress, rather than clinging to the older tenets of the fearful and folkish Brogmoidism. And that is not simply the good nature of this one fellow that keeps it and us from falling into the great void. I don't understand this sentence. Those who pursue this course, rather than clinging to the older tenets of the fearful Borgoidism, where's the verb of this sentence? Of the main clause? I mean, this looks like something in front. This looks like this rather than part looks like it's been inserted there, and that is not simply the good nature of this fellow that keeps it and us from falling into the great void. We invite those who pursue this course, and that it is not simply wait a moment. We invite those who pursue this course, the right and proper course of science and progress, rather than and that it is not simply, rather than the clinging to the older tenets of the fearful and folkish Borgmoidism, and that it is not simply the good nature of this one fellow that keeps it and us from falling the way. Well, I don't really understand it much. Borgmoid fallacy. See the next page. We see a strange rooms with 2 control devices and some planets here. Looks like these Saturn, Mars, Hermes, Mars and sort of planets. And a handwritten note: I'm getting sick of all these damned eclipses. Planet must be fully in light. This, my friends, is important. Dan says, I didn't actually Google it. I'm impressed by your knowledge, Dan. I didn't know that Hermes was Roman equivalent of Mercury. Alright, this handwritten notes and this picture is a hint for an upcoming puzzle, of course. We will see it. I remember this puzzle slightly. I'm getting sick of all these damned eclipses. A planet must be fully in light. Remember this. It will help us solve a mystery here. A mystery, a puzzle. Alright, let's finally take on this book. And let's see what we can do with this, because I don't know what this means. 422111115. Oh, I remember screen capturing this. And I remember this map. Look at this. This is the symbol of I think this is the symbol of Saturn. You can point to it here. This is a symbol of Saturn, as far as my astrological knowledge goes. We see the symbol of Venus, Mercury and Jupiter over here. And this looks like the map of the temple. This looks like the entrance which we came. This looks like the library we are currently in. The walled off thing was a lab which we probably can enter from here. Once we come to this place, I don't know what this is. This is like some sort of a restricted access. It looks like there could be a secret room in here. Upstairs and some strange room over here. Okay. So remember this map, it will help us navigate in the temple. What does it say here? 6 member. Is it not members? Member from their sarcophagi. They will tell me nothing. I have all but ripped their throats out. So that is to be expected. How many threats can you use upon the dead? It sickens me to live here, a demon trapped in a temple, but I must finish their work and fuel my hate with the power of the quintessence. Alright. I don't know what this 6 member is. But let's remember, let's go back to the book of alchemy here and remember the names each planet is associated with. So Saturn is Malvo, Mars is General Cain, Jupiter is Sartorius, and Venus is Sophia. So Venus is easy, it's the only woman. Sophia, Venus, okay. So the woman symbol, which is the astrological symbol for Venus, is the Sophia. Saturn is for Malvo. Mars is Cain, General Cain. Mars, the god of war, general and military rank. So war and military associates General Cain as the name. Jupiter, Sartorius, and Malvo, Saturn I don't know, we have to remember that. So let's see. If this is the symbol of Saturn, means this library is somehow associated with the alchemist Malvo. This room here somehow associated with the alchemist Sophia. This god of war Mars must have something to do with General Kane, and Jupiter, or Juperon as they call it here, must be with Doctor. I say Dr. Sartorius because I remember it from the name that it was some sort of a scientist and a doctor in this classical white coat lab, Dr. Sartorius. So Sartorius, okay. So and it's in this corner of the room. Maybe it has some significance. Let us take a look into this corner of the room. Ah, look, we can interact with the edges of this one. And there were three locks, so it looks like one. Okay, we can't really. 1, 2, 3. Look at this secret door. And if you go back, these 3 sounds, clicking sounds, denoted of course the going back of these things. So it looks like we are close to discovering the secret of the alchemist associated with the Saturn sign, which was Malvo, right? And this looks like the door. We can somehow access it. I can't access it yet, but we know that there is a door here, and we know how to get to it. It will probably be relevant later on. Probably the game doesn't let us access it this early. So yes, let's take a further look at this strange book with the interactive symbols here. Strange map, and we can turn the page. 22nd of February. Now that I have stolen the 4 elements, earth, air, fire and water, I have hidden them in this unholy temple where they will never be found. Remember the intro, a voice talked to us and said, only by the recovery of the 4 elements I will live again. And it's probably this woman which appeared to us in a vision when we explored the candle in the next to the sarcophagus, that they say, okay, rescue me, 4 elements and stuff. So it looks like these 4 elements, the 4 elements, earth, air, fire and water, have been hidden by somebody here in this unholy temple, and we are to find them and rescue this voice from the intro. He writes, I cannot risk their discovery and have employed a great number of deadly, strike through, of lively machinations to assure their seclusions. The last intruder, that meddling spy Bivotar, never made it past my gallery, but at least he was able to take some time out to envy the paintings before I bludgeoned him. However, in the gallery, the flow of time is as circular as the room, and I made the mistake of killing him before he was ever actually born. I shall wait to see if he returns, and here a drawn symbol of a circling spiral. Dan says Mars, fire, Venus, Earth, Saturn, air, Mercury, water. Yes, Dan, you are completely right. There are associations. Each planet is associated with a certain alchemical element: earth, air, fire. Fire is, I think, Mars, as you say. About the other three, I don't know, but we will discover. We could look it up, but that would be less fun playing the game. There will be enough clues in the game as how to associate each alchemical element with each planet, and that is really a key knowledge to solve certain puzzles here. That much I remember, but I don't remember much else that's Mars that is associated with fire. Alright, so I don't know how to interpret these strange symbols on the front page of this book, but maybe we'll notice later on something which will help us solve the clue. So we have visited this library. The access to the lab is probably not yet given. We can try if we can access the lab. As far as we know, we should go from the north. So if we go to this place, we hear a hollow sound again. Hollow sound from the library. Yeah, strange. We saw a door in the library, which probably would lead somewhere here. Yes, this is the door. Oh, look! Oh, there's a strange device. I have not noticed this before. There's a strange device right at the door. Let's explore that. It's like a glass sphere on a metal stand, and there is a knife next to it. Let's click on it. There's a knife. Strange lightning light-like sound prohibited us from picking it up, and there is this glass sphere which we cannot interact with. Alright. So, library. Okay, this is the entrance where we came from. So the lab should be this room behind these walls.
Why do you persist? My secrets are my own and no one else's. What you seek will only blacken your heart.
Yeah. A word of warning by the mighty voice, who probably, maybe it is the same. This is the voice of the one who has hidden the four elements here in this temple. So this looks like the access to the lab, so let's access it. It looks lab enough. Yes, so, oh, look at this. There's a poster on the wall. I don't know, how do you call this sort of instrument to blow air to the fire in English? Oh, there's another poster here. Looks like a dragon spilling water vapor and a ship sailing on it. Lots of pictures here. Lots of stuff to explore. Let's explore this poster first. And here we hear the sound of the same tune the violin from the sarcophagus played. Maybe there is a certain connections. Paul says it's the bellows. Thank you. There's a dog in there, you say? A Labrador. Let me check. Did we really see a picture of a dog here? Wait a moment, where are we? Just want to get back to the door. Is there a dog? I don't see it here. Oh, like a pun on lab or... Okay. Yeah, Miss Punlord is allowed to do that, Nia Wolf. Okay, so what is this? Let's explore this one by one. So first we had noticed this book here. Some small progress. I can now link each of my rotting alchemists with their respective signs. Look at this! Malvo has mastered the element of fire. That's interesting. So it's not Mars. We should take a note of this, because this is the clue, boys and girls. This is the clue. So Malvo has mastered the element of fire and has made a lucrative career of fire worship along the way. Sartorius my mad doctor is air. Precisely because it is largely this element that fills his pompous brain. Cain must have chosen Earth. So it's not Mars and war, Cain. So this is a different world, fantasy world. Our Roman and Greek associations don't work here, as we can see. Cain must have chosen Earth. Or in other words, Zork. Because his head is filled with sod and his soul is consumed with earthly things. And Sophia, mistress of the frigid river conservatory, mistress of the frigid river conservatory is water, as befits the cold hag. Wow, he is talking in a very pejorative and derogatory way about these four alchemists. Before we proceed, let's head back to the library and check back on the planets associated with them. This is not the book. This is the book. So fire, Malvo is Saturmax. Cain is Mars. Basically Murs. Zork is the Earth we are on. Sartorius is Juperon. And Sophia is Venus. Okay. So Venus here is associated with water and Sophia. Mars is associated with Earth. Well, yeah, with the element Earth, with the alchemical element Earth. Juperon is associated with air, and Saturn is associated with fire. Okay? So let's see. what this lab has further to offer. You can look up and down here. Can't we? Ah, you see, these are the 4 alchemical elements: Saturn, Venus, Mars and Jupiter, but broken into pieces. We can't really interact with them to put them together or something. The sound of the violin. There's another poster here of another dragon spitting fire. Some sort of a sign here. Another poster here. Looks like an enchanter and a serpent. All sorts of strange devices, and a ladder which we cannot really use, can we? Maybe if I step to this place I could. We can probably use the ladder. Look at this. We have climbed to the upper level of the lab. There's another book here. So what do we see? We see a man standing in front of a glass sphere. Maybe it's the same glass sphere we saw in the library on this small tripod, but this is a much bigger looking tripod and all sorts of pipes coming to and from the glass sphere. Alchemist. And it looks like this glass is filled with air. Could this be Sartorius experimenting with air? Could be a picture of Sartorius, right? There we have element, a minecart filled with something, probably earth. This could be Kane, General Kane, with these military high boots. He is pierced by something, right? So earth, this is Kane. So what is this? What do we see here? Human figure kneeling, praying to something. So we have air, we have earth. So this is either Sophia with water, or it is Malvo with fire. This is Sophia with water, so this must be Malvo with fire. Alright, so we have, this is the depictions of the 4 alchemists. Sophia sees her own reflection, and this looks really deadly, right? This face. It's like from this picture. I don't know, this very famous painting with the bridge and this old woman with this sort of expression. It reminds me of, I don't know, my arts knowledge is not good enough to remember the name of the artist or the name of the painting, but it's exactly the painting I'm thinking about when I see this reflection of this. So Sophia, this should be Malvo then, fire, Cain and Sartorius. Alright, so we see the book here. And look, oh wait, is this not the device? No, this where the sphere of air was? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so we can go down again. Oh, The Scream by Edward Munch. Yeah, thank you, Paul. And there is another secluded chamber here. And we see some sort of things which we can interact and something to read. You will come to see the one thing in its correspondences. As Juperon is to tin and air, we have already figured that much, that Juperon is associated with air just by reading those books on those two books. But now we have another association with an element, like a material element. So Juperon is not only associated with Dr. Sartorius and air, but also with tin. That's important to note. So tin and air. Mars is, and we see the alchemical sign even. So tin, you see the alchemical sign for tin. I shall note that as well. And air, note the sign for air. This downward pointing triangle, air. Mars is to iron. This is very important. Iron, and the alchemical sign for iron is this M, and this tail of an M ends with an arrow. When you look up old alchemical symbols, this is iron. And earth. Earth has a symbol down pointing triangle but filled. Okay. Saturn, and there you have the, okay, I don't even take note of these because I know them, but Saturn, the alchemical symbol of Saturn. Jupiter, okay, so take note of that as well. Mars, that's the male symbol, and Venus is the female symbol. Iron, okay. Saturn is to lead. Here we see a lead, a slightly different than iron. Lead. It's like this MP sort of sign. And fire, symbol of fire is an upward pointing triangle, which is empty. And water is an upward pointing triangle, which is filled. And these filled triangles, earth and water, you can think of them as being more materialistic, more material. Air you can just go through, fire you can walk through, but water and earth are harder to penetrate as fire and air. So maybe the triangles are filled. So and Venus is copper, so the element associated with Venus is copper, and the alchemical symbol of copper is these two waves. All right. So we must make new associations. So the chains of association is now extended. Malvo, fire, empty triangle up, Saturn, lead. Sartorius, air, empty triangle down. Juperon, tin. Cain, earth, full triangle down. Mars, iron. And Sophia, water, upward triangle up. Venus and copper. So this is a very, very important document here. We are diving into the alchemical symbols and stuff. So is there anything else we can interact with? These things here.
February 3. I I tried to contact Dr. Vixen about the meaning of the alchemy plate symbols. He told me that all symbols have meanings in alchemy, and that everyone is controlled by the orientation of these symbols. He could not, however, tell me more of use. The man is nearly deaf and blind, a condition that I feel describes perfectly my search for answers.
So these look like some devices to store voice messages. It can be played back by just rotating them. Yeah, they didn't tell us really anything new, right? Like, each alchemical sign is associated with an element, some sort of like lead, tin. Let's listen to it again, whether I've missed anything.
February 3. I tried to contact Dr. Vixen about the meaning of the alchemy plate symbols. He told me that all symbols have meanings in alchemy, and that everyone is controlled by the orientation of these symbols. He could not, however, tell me more of use. The man is nearly deaf and blind, a condition that I feel describes perfectly my search for answers.
All right. Listen to another one.
I live every day with a reminder of the horror they've inflicted on the others. Well, their crimes were great, and I had to be judge, jury, and executioner. Yet they do not succumb to my torture. Sartorius seems the weakest, but even that bastard will not break his silence.
I don't know what to make of it.
I live every day with a reminder of the horror they've inflicted on the others. Well, their crimes were great, and I had to be judge, jury, and executioner. Yet they do not succumb to my torture. Sartorius seems the weakest, but even that bastard will not break his silence.
Yeah, somehow he tried to get some sort of a secret out of Sartorius. Couldn't make it. I didn't really understand the beginning of this message. What is this?
Last day of the year of the misuse. I've hidden the sources of their powers away from their control. Without them, they are unable to hold back the very elements they use to keep Dominion over.
Alright. Here he probably means the alchemist. It looks like he has not only hidden the elements here just for anybody to search it, or just to condemn the poor soul there at the candle, but also he has taken away the elements from the alchemists to reduce their power. So maybe if we find these elements and bring them to the right alchemist, we will enhance their power again and make them help us somehow accomplishing the goal of the game.
I've learned of 4 key steps used in alchemy: sublimation, distillation, calcification, and coagulation. Still, I know there is more to be found. Something is missing, some vital step.
What was the first? I tried to take note. Sublimation, distillation.
I've learned of 4 key steps used in alchemy: sublimation, distillation, calcification, and coagulation. Still, I know there is more to be found. Something is missing, some vital step.
What was the fourth? Coagulation? Coagulation, is it? Clotting? Clotting of blood? Coagulation? Coagulation. Sublimation, distillation, calcification, and coagulation.
I've learned of 4 key steps used in alchemy: sublimation, distillation, calcification, and coagulation. Still, I know there is more to be found. Something is missing, some vital step.
Yeah. Alright. Something is still missing, but I've taken note of these 4 processes. Let's hear this one.
The fortune is nearly gone. I am going in search of answers elsewhere. Rumors speak of riches beyond the hills.
Not too informative, is it?
The fortune is nearly gone. I am going in search of answers elsewhere. Rumors speak of riches beyond the hills.
Rumors speak of which is beyond hills. Okay.
I have discovered a vast subterranean land filled with magic and mysteries. However, I haven't found any creature knowledgeable in the black arts. A wizard may be somewhere underground, but I have yet to find him. Other treasure hunters have discovered the ruins, and I've had to kill them to protect my belongings.
Subterranean ruins. Yes, so there is a lot of content to discover here. Interesting lab here. Let's take another look at the map in the library. So we've been to the lab, but what I saw here and here were doors. I don't know where they lead to. Outside of the temple? Should we take a look there? Let's go. It is the outside. Oh, look at this. So, if you know a little bit of alchemy, you know that this is the symbol for Saturn, Jupiter, Earth, Venus, Moon, and Sun. There is a stick here, and its shadow falls somewhere on this circle. We can interact with it. We can't really. We can just take it. We can take it. I can't really rotate it, but we can take it. And now by right clicking I change between arrow cursor and item cursor. So yeah, okay, let's take this item. Maybe it will be useful later on. Maybe there will be some place where to put it. There's a door which appears to be closed, a broken bench, another entrance to the temple, which I will not enter yet. Corner. These looks almost like faces, right? They aren't. Okay, let's see. Oh, the door. Was it lying down on the floor? Oh yeah, it was. There's another door on the opposite side of this hallway. Oh, that's the door to the lab. Okay. So there is this fountain here. It's flowing water here and here. You can somehow interact with these, with this ivory. Turning off water here. Interacting again, does nothing. Interacting with this thing, puts it on again, turns it on again. Interacting with this, does nothing. Interacting with this, should turn it off. And there is something in here. But before I explore it, let me check whether this turns the water on again. It does. So let's see what this is. Looks almost like a hand, right? A thumb and 4 fingers. I have no idea what to put in here. What if we turn around and turn off this now? We don't see anything we can interact with. Okay, let's leave this for later. Let's go to this part of the temple. Ah, look. Seems to be another walled indoors. Looks like these people have a special somehow special interest in walling off doors. This is the entrance, okay. This is the lab, isn't it? Yes. This is the library. This is the outdoors. All right. Let's take a look in here. There's a picture here of a naked woman looking into the mirror in her bed, held by an angel. We can somehow interact. We can touch the body here.
I cannot help you at this time, Wanderer. Go explore these lands further before you return to me.
Interesting. All right. Looks like a interactive picture which will help us later on in the game. And of course, this might be the door which we saw from the outside, which I refuse to enter. Oh look, there is a bust or some head in next to this door. We don't know yet who this belongs to. Which of the 4 alchemists is it, if it is at all one of them? Maybe she'll be able to help you later. Of course she will. So there is the stairs. This is the main room of the temple, I presume. What you see here is the very early very early use of 3D models in the game. These were very simple and early 3D models rendered here into a scene. So there are 4 pedestals. Each of them has a golden statue on it, or it appears to be golden. And there's a main sort of... Oh. Ah, that's... It looks like a sarcophagus for each of the alchemists. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Without knowing much, I see the high leather boots. I think this must be General Kane, associated with Earth, Mars, and Iron. Let's look what he has got to say.
Who goes there? Soldier. I am one of my men.
Are you one of my men?
There's no one left. Everything destroyed. Bring me Earth. That is my strength.
We know.
Reward you. A fortune in Zork Nemesis. Have my kingdom. Anything. But beware. The Nemesis.
Yeah, bring me Earth. That is my element, my strength. As if we didn't already know. I guess we are much better than the game assumes we would be at this point. We can't really interact with these. Oh yeah, we can. Wait a moment. There's this element of the sun here, which is empty. It's very much like the element of the sun we saw at the very beginning, but it was filled with some sort of a half globe here, which appears to be missing here. So this is this is General Kane. Whose sarcophagus is this one? Looks like Sophia, right? Judging by the breasts.
Is someone there? Kane? Is that you? Who's ever there? Oh, please help me. Trapped here so long. You may be too. Get water. My element.
Do you think she's had a love affair with Kane? Water is her element, we know it, and not only know we that, we also know she's associated with copper. So whose sarcophagus is this? White coat? Could this be Sartorius? Air, Juperon and Tin?
Who's there?
He's smelling air.
Melancholy, blood, color, phlegm. 4 humors. A human. He did this to me. Spiritus non corpus. He's mad. Air. I need air.
Okay. So this leaves us with Malvo, Fire, Saturn, Lead.
Who comes? Is it you, Nemesis? No. A friend. Come closer. You are kind, pilgrim. Bring fire. My element. You're in danger. Hurry!
It looks like all of these fear the Nemesis. Looks like the Nemesis is the one who captured them here and hid the 4 elements from them. And who we are to defeat. Let's take a look what's up here. There's a door and there's a thing here. You can see Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and we see these look like empty and these look like full triangles. We know that empty triangle upwards is fire, empty triangle downwards is air. Air should be associated with Jupiter, which it is not. Can we interact with this? Oh, there's a star in here. Oh, that's moon actually. This is moon. Okay. Inside here. Where's the sun thing? Well, yeah, we can't really interact with it. Can this thing do anything to it? Nope. Not yet. Okay. Any ideas, guys? How about the door? We can't go close to it. I remember in the map which we saw in the library that at this part of the temple there was something associated with either one of them. Look at this. Granum erutum orbis luna manifestum perge coque arte. Non pervius ulli continuus. Can't read this. Agens et blah blah blah. Can't read really. Yeah, Luna, the moon. So what else is this? The sun, Solis. Qualis solus quodis. I don't know much Latin. Maybe this is pseudo Latin. That we have seen this. So each planet must be in the light. I will not try to interact with these things yet. We'll remember this and come here later. I just wanted to see the other thing out here. Dan says, I wonder where you'll find the elements for the people in the tombs. If you find something to carry water in your if you find something to carry water in, you might get the water from those waterfalls you visited. Yeah, the small fountain. Indeed, that's a good idea. There's another thing in here. Ah. This looks like iron, right? It should be cane. Look at this symbol. What is this symbol? Is this the symbol of the... It's another astrological symbol. I think it's twins, isn't it? This is Neptune. Well, this is lead. This is Mars. This is Earth. The woman symbol upside down, like pointing upwards, is Earth, and downwards it's Venus or female. This we know is iron. So we know iron is associated with Mars, and we saw Mars over here. So I think that might be already the key. And this is Saturn. And this, ooh, I don't know. Is this the scales? I'm not really sure. It's another star constellation symbol and stuff. But let's open the fingers for Mars, and actually let's don't do it yet. Let's see what other things are around here. Maybe something else will make more sense to explore before we dive into these details. There is upstairs here. Can we go upstairs here? We can. Ah, look at this. There's a pan flute. Some strange devices. And doors. Upstairs. Looks like downstairs. Let's go upstairs. Another door. What? Ah, it doesn't let us. Downstairs. It doesn't let us go unless we solve these puzzles. I think these are puzzles. Okay, let's keep this in mind. And let's explore further. So we've discovered one puzzle down here in this, I call it planetarium, which it is probably not, but there are all sorts of planets. Let's call it planetarium. We have the stairs puzzle with the pan flute and stuff. We have the puzzle with the iron gate with the skeleton fingers. Let's see what else is in here. On the other side of the sarcophagi. Some sort of ruins, right? Hello, Gabor. Looks like ruins with some stairs, but it doesn't look like we can really go any further into this. What is this? Why did I notice before? There's a sun symbol above. And there are 3 horns here. This looks like some sort of air puzzle. So this might be the puzzle leading to the secret of air, which is Sartorius. Can look down to this star map. Oh yes, look at this. I remember this was quite a tricky puzzle. I have no clue how it is done. It had something to do with the blinking of the stars and the star constellation. We can read Aquarius here. The age of Aquarius. Capricorn. Yeah, all sorts of alchemical symbols here. So there's a star puzzle and air puzzle. Alright. And that's about it. So we've got 4 kinds of puzzles here. So air, yes, air. And behind this, I call it altar, is pretty much nothing. Empty space, ruins. Okay. So you tell me which puzzle you would like to solve first in the next session. We have this blowhorn star puzzle, the puzzle behind the door with the skeleton hands. We have the planetarium puzzle, and what was the other? Planetarium, blowhorn, skeleton hands. What was that one other we saw? And the stairs, of course. The stairs with the strange pan flute and mouths and things. Okay. So is there a way how to save the game at all? I don't even know how to save the game. I should look it up in the manual how we save this game, and you tell me what you would like to go on with in the next stream. So it looks like each of these 4 puzzles leads further and deeper into the world of one of these alchemists. So post your suggestions and I'll see you once I've figured out how to save this game. Thanks for watching and see you next time.